What's up guys, Sekapoko here, bringing another One Piece Treasure Cruise video, going over One Piece Treasure Cruise news. Now we got a lot of hype things coming out, we have lots of really cool events coming out, and I'm very excited for the upcoming news. So I'm the most exciting of course is we're getting the Halloween stuff. We knew we were going to get it, but now we know what's going to be. That's really great. So I'm excited to do all that, and it's going to be very fun. So without further ado, let's hop into the news and go over everything we're going to get. So the first thing we're going to get is, of course, this special Halloween Chopper Island that's going to give a good amount of pirate level. All it says is it gives you a massive amount of XP. I don't really know if it's going to be daily or if it's just going to be one time. It might just be one time, but we'll see when the event comes out, and it's going to be there from there on. Next thing we got the Halloween Fortnights. They're coming back, and they're going to be back on half stamina, which is really cool. Now, they're going to be available. All of the Halloween Fortnights are available from the 26th all the way through the 9th of November. However, the Halloween Straw Hats Part 1, Halloween Straw Hats Part 2, and Halloween Rebecca are in half stamina from the 26th through the 2nd of November. And from the 2nd of November all the way through the 9th of November, you're going to have Halloween Sugar as well as Halloween Corazon on half stamina. So that's very cool. They're giving those on half stamina. Now, if you don't remember, the Halloween Fortnights are, of course, 30 stamina. Halloween Rebecca, Halloween Corazon, and Halloween Sugar are all on 40 stamina. So make sure that you are prepared to use those on half stamina just to save yourself a little bit of gems, because that would be really nice to have. Next bit of news here, we're going to have the new, the first time I've ever seen this, I don't know if it's happened before, but this is actually, for me, this is the first time I've seen half stamina Colosseum. I think that's really hype. I've seen double XP Colosseum, I've seen lots of things, but I've never seen half stamina Colosseum, so that's really cool. We may have had it before, but in my time playing the game, I cannot remember it. If somebody has seen it before, let me know in the comment section below and shoot me a screenshot through an Imgur so we can actually see when it happened before. But I'm pretty sure this is the first time, which is actually very cool. Now we're going to get Colosseum Brindy World, we're going to have Colosseum Helmeppo, we're going to have Colosseum Lauji, Colosseum Blenheim, and Colosseum Dellinger. Going over the Colosseum units, if you did not know what they did already, Colosseum Brindy World is a 2x shooter booster. You can see here he is going to boost the attack of shooter characters by 2 times on an 18 current cooldown, and he has a very high attack value, all the way at almost 1500 at 1483. A very useful unit to farm, is a very good Colosseum unit, who is widely considered one of the best Colosseum units out there, and he's not going to be as good as the new Colosseum Nakamushi or something like that, but he is a very useful Colosseum unit. It's probably one of the most useful 30 stamina Colosseum units out there, so it's very good to farm. So I definitely recommend farming him if you have not done so already, especially because he's going to be on half stamina. Now the next Colosseum unit that's available is going to be Colosseum Helmeppo, which is a really interesting unit. If HP is below 5000 when the special is activated, he boosts the attack of driven and slasher characters by 1.75 for 1 turn and recovers 10 times character recovery in HP. Not a super useful unit. When I read this Colosseum ability the first time, I didn't really think it was going to be that useful, and I have had certain situations where he was going to be useful for driven and slasher boost, but to be honest, you're probably not going to use him that often. I would farm him sparingly if you really want to farm him, because you want to have a completion set that's really good for speed farming runs, because he is down to 11 turn cooldown, which is actually a really short cooldown. So I definitely recommend farming him if you want a speed run character. But if you're looking for something else, he's going to be a really niche use either way. Colosseum Lauji is not a super useful unit either. He's really good for farming it for the red Lauji sockets for the old driven team. However, his orb manipulation is kind of interesting. Because if you're going to change all Psi, Int, and recover your TND orbs into G orbs, which is really weird, and then lock orbs for 1 turn, so you're going to lock all your G orbs. And if you hit all your perfects, it turns all your G orbs into matching orbs the following turn. So you could use that as some kind of orb manipulation if you really wanted to give 2 turns of orb manipulation for out of 1 unit, which is kind of cool. He's the only character that I know of that does orb manipulation and orb block. So it's kind of weird unit. So like if you had like a boss that gave you all Psi orbs or all Int orbs, and you wanted to change those orbs into like slightly matching and give yourself G orbs, and then hit all your perfects and then have matching orbs in the next room, that would be kind of cool to use. I could definitely see that being useful, but honestly, you're probably not going to use this unit very often. He's on a 17 turn cooldown, which is kind of long, so he's not really good for a speed farming team. I'd say if this is one you could skip, the one you really want to farm is Brindy World. It's not. The Brindy World is definitely the more useful of the 5 units. Next we have Colosseum Blenheim, and Colosseum Blenheim has mediocre attack. He's an okay special because he reduces despair by 2 turns, which is actually very useful, and makes strength, dex, and quick orbs beneficial for all powerhouse units. That part's kind of nice. So let's say you had a full board of dex orbs and you're on a powerhouse team and you can't change your orbs at all. This is a really great way to get all matching orbs on your powerhouse team. Or if you have a strength, dex, quick powerhouse team and you have Cy Blenheim as one of your units and your team gets all badly matching orbs, then this would make all orbs matching for your entire team. Now, it's a really weird unit to bring unless you can't use orb manipulation on your powerhouse team. It's not going to be super useful for tons of situations. The thing that really makes it really weird is it's only usable if you're below 30% HP. So there's like so much stuff that has to happen for this character to be useful that I don't really recommend farming him. It's going to be a super niche use for like one fight, and other than that, I really can't see the use of this unit. Is kind of useful. Like if the boss 8 cuts you by like 70 or 80%, then you're like, oh hey, and he's gonna give you all badly matching. You can't manipulate orbs. Hey, I found the use for Colosseum Blenheim. Yay! He did like 3 different things that I needed him to do, and he despaired me for 5 turns, so I needed a 2-turn despair remover. I mean, you're probably not going to see use in this unit. He's not very useful, but you could potentially see some. I mean, there is a possibility to be able to use him. Now, Colosseum Dellinger is kind of like a mini Cavendish. What he's going to do is 20 times character attack to one enemy, boost his attack by 1.5, and amplify his orb by 1.5 one turn, and change his arm to quick. Now, with the new Colosseum Inarashi, just blows him out of the water as far as the mini Cavendish type. So, not a super useful unit. However, his attack is extremely high. It's at 1429 for any Colosseum unit, that's an older unit. His Colosseum is on a 40 stamina Colosseum, whereas all the other Colosseums are on a 30 stamina Colosseum. So he'll be using 20 stamina per run to run this on a half stamina. I don't really think the Colosseum Dellinger is a super useful unit, but he's extremely good for socketing the Rare Recruit Dellinger, which is useful because Rare Recruit Dellinger is a badly matching orb changer, which is very useful in many situations. Pika does the same thing, but I believe Pika only does it for Powerhouse and Driven units, whereas Dellinger does it for Fighter and Powerhouse on a much shorter cooldown. And will also do it for all characters on his Tier 2 special, which is on the same cooldown as Pika's Tier 1 special, which is really good. So if you do have Rare Recruit Dellinger and you want to farm the sockets, this is definitely a great time to do so. It's on half stamina. Great time to do that. So I highly recommend doing that if you do have the time during this event. However, we have, the unfortunate part is that all of this is during the same set of 2 weeks where we have the Halloween event. So there's going to be lots of different things that you have to grind out if you want to grind. So there's tons of things you can farm. Of course, I have 2-0 in turtle time, which is going to be from the 24th to the 29th. You can just pick your 30-minute turtle island. And of course, you have your rookie islands from the 25th through the 31st on half stamina. Now, for this, if you're a newer player, grind the crap out of this. It's definitely worth doing. If you are like under pirate level 100, this is the time. This is the time to farm this. If you're over pirate level 100 and you're trying to like build out your account a little bit, farm the Halloween stuff. The Halloween stuff is going to be super useful for you to get sockets for your characters. Really good for getting your Rayleigh books, your Whitebeard books if you need them. So definitely farm those as you can. And if you can farm the Colosseums, great, but most likely you're going to be stuck doing the Fortnights. Now the Rayleigh Socket Island is from the 26th to the 31st. They are going to be named, and the names will be available on Reddit, as well as there's like lots of instant links we'll be able to post on Twitch channels, so you can actually see which writing phrase gives you the correct book that you want. This is double buggyable island, so if you want to get your double drops, this is definitely the time for that. Now, after that, we have 2 times skill up on the 1st of the month, going to be from the 1st to the 4th, so it's going to be the second 2 times skill up in a matter of 2 weeks. Just like every 2 weeks, we get a 2 times skill up on JP. We're also going to have a special Volver color island. So like it's the island with I think you have a chance to get a rainbow out Volver, but like it's mostly just going to be your red, blue, green, yellow, purple. I don't even know if you can get a rainbow Volver. I think somebody told me they got one once, but like I don't know. Just run it with your double buggy team and just get whatever you get for revolvers, basically. I think you get a gem every day on this event as well, so you should be able to get that for free. So that's really nice. Next, which is one of the most hype parts about this news, is we're going to have the new Invasion Garp. Really hyped about this unit. We know nothing about this unit at all. So we know that he's going to be available from the first on. So for the half stamina Colosseums, what I'm going to be doing is probably running the Fortnights for the first couple days. When the first drops, I'm definitely going to start running Colosseums more to try to get the invasions to drop off of, say, Colosseum Dellinger or whatnot, or whatever I need to run, and try to get out this Garp to spawn and see what we can get. There might be a 50 stamina Colosseum available, but it doesn't look like they're doing new Colosseums right now. They're just doing recurring Colosseums. There is a new Colosseum batch. I'll check it out near the end of the news and see what we're going to get from the first on and see what is available. And actually, you know what? I'll just do that now. I have time. I have a minute. Let's go. Well, that's adventure mode. My bad. That is, I think, is that Fortnite, or is that? That's Fortnite. Is this one? Did they move it? They did move it. That's so weird. There it is. They totally moved it. That's so weird. It used to be the middle button for Colosseum. Okay, so Colosseum Gladius is going to end. Colosseum Margaret was supposed to be the last day, I guess, today or tonight. Colosseum Kobe's out. So of these Colosseums, definitely farm what you can. They're all pretty useful for different things. Okay, this is gonna end. I don't know if we're gonna have Lucy to keep going after this, but we'll see. Farm Hawkins. The rest you can hold off on besides Lucy, of course. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I think we're just gonna have the Colosseums that they said. Yeah, looks like we're only gonna have those Colosseums that they just said. That's gonna be weird. Okay, so there's no news on other Colosseums that are gonna be dropping, so it looks like we're just gonna have those the 30 stamina on and the 40 stamina on half stamina, but I don't see any other news on any kind of Colosseums gonna be dropping for new Colosseums or whatnot. So from the second on, we're also gonna get half stamina Fortnights on a couple different Fortnights here. We're gonna first get the new Caribou Fortnite on half stamina. We're gonna get Nolan and Calgara, the OG. Or we're gonna get the Butler Fortnite, the Dot on Family Fortnite. That would actually be useful for Akainu books and some other books that we need. I think it's like T.S. Nami books on there too. The Peckham's Fortnite, which is the Gather Candy Fortnite, which Cavendish books are on, and the Whitebeard Party or Whitey Bait Squad Fortnite, which is really useful as well. I definitely would farm the Whitebeard Pirates Fortnite for the books on there if you need them. They're really good books on there that are very useful for speed farming teams. The Dot on Fortnite is probably going to be one of the more useful ones, and of course the Caribou Fortnite, which we actually don't know what they're going to drop on the Caribou Fortnite, but we do know it exists, so it has been teased. The little photo here. After that, we have kind of a Clash of Clashes type deal. We're gonna get like 4 different raids, and they're all gonna be in half stamina, which is super weird. Like they just release all these raids that you can finish with like instant clear, and then now the raids are out again on half stamina. It's like, oh dang. Thanks, Bandai. Thanks. You guys are jerks. You guys are jerks. I would have taken the half stamina over the instant clears. Alright, but that is available. Oh, we're also getting, sorry, I forgot. We were getting half stamina on Evolver Island as well for the 3rd through the 9th. So if you wanted to run those as well, you could. So the way the raids are going to be structured is going to be, the first day is going to be Bellamy, second day is going to be Doflamingo, third day, then there's going to be a split of about, oh, sorry. At first it starts with Akainu on the 2nd. I don't get that. They totally stagger these super weird. Look at this. Like, oh, no, not the 2nd, the 12th. No, I had it right. No, I had it right. They just wrote it wrong in the translation. So the end of the Reddit page is wrong. Okay. So we're gonna have half stamina on Bellamy and Doflamingo. Bellamy's on the 4th, and the Doflamingo is gonna be on the 5th on half stamina. So if you need Doflamingo sockets or you need Bellamy, go ahead and farm them there. Bellamy's actually a really useful unit for Lucy teams. So if you don't have him yet, he's a really useful orb manipulator / orb booster. So what he does is he takes Psi and Int and makes those beneficial for for your entire team, so it's really, really useful. And since he's a blue unit, or if he's the Kai version, he's a red unit, he will fit on the Lucy team. Very, very useful unit for that. Doflamingo, always a useful unit. Even with the new Mihawk, you can take out your Amazing Cavernous and put the Dofi in there if you really need more Orb Manipulate. Very useful unit for that as well. We're going to be getting the second set is going to be Sabo and Akainu, which is going to be on the 11th and the 12th, not the 11th and the 2nd from the typo there. And those two units are going to be really useful to farm if you don't have them already. The Akainu was not really super useful before. It's kind of useful in Colosseums if you have like a green unit on the 4th stage that you need to kill. It's really useful for killing that green unit because they give you an Orb Manipulate and a boost in the same unit. So that's really useful because it only is going to give color affinity to red units. It's actually going to boost just the red units, which is really, really nice for your team. So if you have a team of like 3 red units and 3 blue units, or 3 other units, then it'll be a really useful unit to just boost 3 of those units and then just kill the boss with just like 1 booster. So that's very, very nice for him because Orb Manipulate plus boost is really, really good. Sabo, always a really, really useful unit, so if you don't have him yet, definitely farm him. I've used him so much. He's one of the most useful farmable units in the game. And beyond half stamina, it's great to farm him. You can see here, we also have Princess Turtle Islands coming out from the 7th through the 11th. The Princess Turtle Islands are going to be choosing your own time. You get 30 minutes. They're much easier than they used to be, so definitely if you are a returning player and you're thinking about farming them, you're not really sure, definitely check out the Princess Turtle Island. It will be very easy to farm. You can do it with just a combo hit team. The best team to run it with, in my opinion, is a combo hit team with like a highest double buggy team with all combo hit units, as highest combo as you can get. Wicca is one of the most useful units you can throw on that team because she does AoE. She does an AoE fixed damage at a super short cooldown. So definitely bring her if you have the chance. We also have 2x Super Success coming out on, let's see here, the 24th through the 29th, which is going to be very soon. And of course the 7th through the 12th. So 2 different times we're getting 2x Super Success. Now the thing with 2x Super Success is that on JP the amount of XP items they've been giving us is so large that we don't really need this, but if you're a new player, you probably might need this to level up your characters. So try to save your turtles and your XP items if you're like below level 200 and you haven't leveled up a lot of your units. This is a great time for you to save those units and use them during these time frames because you'll get way more XP out of those units. So that's very, very nice for you. Most of us over like high level 300 won't need that because you'll have like way more XP from other sources, so you'll be fine. Of course, we're getting our daily gem from the 24th to the 12th, which never changes. We always get the daily gem, so it's very, very nice. So that is going to conclude that section of the news. The last thing in the news, of course, we're going to get the new Int Akainu as a Kai raid. Now, the Int Akainu as a Kai raid is going to be now, in the last bit of our news here, we have a couple units that have been teased out, which are really, really cool. I definitely recommend checking some of these out. They came out a little bit ago, so if you haven't seen them already, they are going to be very cool to see. We're going to have a new Colosseum Sicilian that's going to be dropping sometime soon. We actually, I don't believe have given a date, but we have the artwork already in the game, so it actually has an amazing set of artwork. So I really like this Evolve set artwork. It looks sick. I like the portraits and everything. He looks really, really awesome. I definitely think he's a great unit. As a captain, what he's going to do, he has actually one of the best captain abilities for Colosseum units that I've seen in a while. He's going to be a 2.5 times attack for int characters and a 3 times booster if you're under 30%, which is a really strong captain as far as the farmable unit goes. Most units don't have a captain ability this strong. It's 2.5 as a flat for int characters is really, really good, and under 30% getting a boost is awesome. So on your burster, you can lower your HP under 30% and start your damage, and you will do tons more damage. Since its special also reduces your HP by 50%, it's going to make it much easier for you to get there, so it is really, really good. His special is going to be reduce crew's HP by 50% and provide a 2 times int attack boost and randomized non-matching orbs, including block orbs, starting at a 25-turn cooldown. Now, it's like most Colosseum units, you're going to have somewhere between 15 to 13 skill ups. He's either going to max at somewhere between 10 to 12 turns, so he's going to be a very fast unit to use as well as a very strong unit to use. I definitely recommend farming this unit. He's a super, super good unit. He's going to be coming out, and it's definitely a great unit to use. We have other information that was given, as well as the new Akainu for the new Clash Akainu that's going to be coming out. I'm going to pull him up. Where'd it go? There we go. Is it on? I think it's all on. Always on top. There we go. So the new Clash Akainu, we have the rewards available. You can see he is right here. New Clash Akainu is going to be for the 40 stamina version. If you clear it one time up to 15 times, you're going to get your rewards there. So there is a point to grinding the 40 stamina as well as each of the 60 staminas. So definitely farm those. They are very, very going to be useful for those things as well. Now this is probably going to be one of the most difficult Kai ranks because of the classes that are available. You can see that the shooter version is going to have there's going to be a shooter version, a striker version, and a slasher version. Now, shooters have been getting lots and lots of boosts lately, but of course, they are one of the most difficult classes to build for because they are mostly pay to win, and they are very, very hard to get any kind of free-to-play characters on, except for, say, Colosseum, Brandy World, and Zephyr, as well as Heracleson. Those are the 3 ones that you can really farm that I know of that are very, very useful, but they're all outclassed by their rare recruit counterparts. So definitely a really weird choice to do another shooter one when it's so, what's it called? Rare recruit heavy that you need. Striker is, of course, the best class in the game right now. They have tons of different viability, so if you have been farming your striker teams, this is going to be pretty easy for you to run. So it will be a really, really great set there, and of course slasher as well. So we'll go over. Now let's go over what Neo Akainu does as far as what has been teased. So Neo Akainu is going to be for shooters. He's going to we're just going to have a boosted character section, which is going to have certain characters have certain boosts. So what's going to happen is that you're going to have -10 cooldown and 1.75 boosted sacks on boosted units. So definitely bring your boosted units. It's just like when we had Colosseum Kizaru and we had that Raizo type deal where Raizo was the MVP of the Free Spirit set. So Colosseum Kizaru for the Free Spirit set was probably one of the most difficult Kai raid farms to do. So this is probably going to be up there, one of the most difficult ones to do. So I definitely recommend being a little cautious on this one. Try to bring your best possible teams, of course, but it's going to be a little bit more difficult because Akainu, just as a raid by himself, is one of the more difficult raids to do. So if you're a newer player and you can't farm this raid, do not feel bad. Kai raids are supposed to be intense raids for endgame players as well as mid-endgame players to actually grind these out. So the shooter only is going to have a hit barrier, which is going to provide, we're hoping is the same type of barrier that Treasure Mihawk has, where it's just like a damage barrier, so you can use a certain amount of damage to break the barrier. So that would be really nice if it did. So the shooters that are boosted in this are going to be the new Strength Brandy World, which I haven't looked up what he does yet. He's available from the 22nd on, which is today on. So hopefully, if somebody pulls him, they can tell me what he does. But I actually don't know what he does. I'll look it up later. A lot of people told me they didn't like what he did, so I don't actually know. It's probably on the database. We'll check it out in a minute. The new Int Margaret, really, really useful unit. 1.75 ore boost for 3 turns. Very, very useful. Int Timeskip Perona, very useful unit for certain teams. Not super useful for many teams that are in the game right now because what she does is not useful for Blackbeard teams, and it might have some viability on shooter teams, but it's really hard to find a use for this Perona in the current meta. I think I don't know who I was talking to, but somebody told me that she's bad, and we were having a semi-argument on like good versus bad on this unit. And the thing with Timeskip Perona is she's just been outclassed in like every tier except for in the shooter tier. So hopefully she's good for the shooters in this version. And then you're like, oh, in Perona MVP, that'd be really cool. For the striker route, when on the shooter version, when he revives, he's gonna get a defense boost. So supposedly when he revives, in Perona is gonna be really unique for that. I'm gonna use the blue buggy because he's a shooter boost. He's a shooter and he reduces defense by 100%. So that sounds good to me. That's what I'm gonna do. Akainu is going to give a defense boost and will give Bother, Empty, and T&D orbs if you use a beneficial special on the striker. So he is just counting the frick out of Nekomamushi. So you cannot use a Nekomamushi on this fight because you're just going to get wrecked. So the Colosseum Nekomamushi is probably going to be useful here. Dex Andersonia, Strength Marigold, and are boosted, and as well as Side.Q. So if you wanted to bring those 3 strikers, that would be very, very useful for this fight. Very useful there. Since he's going to have a defensive boost as well, having the Sandersonia there to reduce the defense, and Strength Marigold to give defense boosted damage, as well as Powerhouse boost and conditional boost, be a very nice thing to do there. He's only going to do something if you try to use an Orb Beneficial Manipulator, so that is an interrupt now. I knew it. I called it. It was going to be an Orb. It was going to be a thing. I knew it was going to be a thing. They came out with it like a week after I said it was going to happen, and I friggin' knew that was going to happen eventually. Just because right after they released Raid Sanji with that Orb Beneficial stopper, you could see that they were going to trigger the Orb Beneficial interrupts here. So that is, I am happy about that, because there's a lot of people who have been telling me that Nekomamushi and G4 are better than certain units that give full matching orbs, or the new Boa is better than the new than Legend Kizaru, because she gives that orb beneficial stuff, and you might get what's it called, interrupted on the orb change. Where in actuality, right here you can see they are introducing the new interrupt on beneficial orb manipulators. So definitely you need both types, by the way, guys. You need orb manipulators and orb beneficial enablers in this game, so you definitely need both. Now slashers are going to be really interesting, and they are kind of geared toward, hey, bring Mihawk, the new Mihawk here, because that would be really smart. Akainu is going to give Bother T and D and recovery if you use an attack booster. So my thought is, don't use an attack booster, or if you are going to use an attack booster, make sure that it's going to like carry into the room. Like with 20 as Zoro, he's a slasher that could possibly you could bring into the room, but I'm not sure if you're going to use him. I'm not sure what we're going to do there, but it is possible to bring an attack boost into the room. You can use an attack boost and then like an orb changer that switches block or T&D or recovery into matching. That's one way you could go as well. When Akainu revives, he's going to get a damage reduction buff. So it's going to be kind of hard to kill him with Intalk unless you're full killing him from the start. So the recommended characters to bring here for Slasher, from what I can see, is just Sai.Q and Quick Diamante. And I think Quick Diamante, let me just double check, gets rid of the damage reduction barrier. I'm pretty sure that's why he is in here. Delays all enemies for 2 turns and reduces enemies damage reduction and increased defense duration by 3 turns. So yeah, this new Diamante is going to be really useful for this, because he's going to get rid of that damage reduction that you're going to get on Akainu. If you have the new Diamante, it will be useful for this fight here. They definitely implemented this in a way that it's going to be difficult to run if you don't have that. So the new Diamante MVP for this run, for the revive, unless you're going to be using Intalk, also useful. But most people are going to be using that Strength Mihawk, because the Strength Mihawk is pretty fire. And if you want to use the Strength Mihawk as an orb boost and chain locker, you can do that along with, say, Kizaru, to get your all your buffs and all your orbs, and then maybe an orb blocker on your slasher team to retain all your orbs, because he doesn't shuffle when he revives, as far as I can tell. So it would be nice to bring, you'll have your orb boost, your type boost, and your orb manipulate in 3 different units there, and then orb boost, chain lock, and then orb manipulate with the Legend Kizaru or something like that. And then you'll have your second Mihawk for your second turn of burst, as well as the Diamante to give your matching orbs on the right hand side if you really want to as well, and give you a delay if you wanted to. But since Akainu more than likely is going to be immune when he revives, you're not going to be able to do anything there. If he's not immune when he revives and they actually get rid of that mechanic, that'd be interesting. But we'll see as it comes what we're going to get there. I think there's one more set of news here. Oh, and the last thing that we got, which is really interesting, it came out super late this morning. Apparently there's going to be a new there's a new teaser for the next mystery mode here. You can see that the guy kind of has a really long saber here. I'm not really sure what that is, but I don't know anybody with that type of sword. This has been teased as the new adventure mode boss at the end, what we're going to get. It looks kind of like a cleaver sword, but I don't recognize the sword. It doesn't look like Mihawk, obviously, but it does look like Mihawk's sword a little bit because of how the sword is shaped. But I don't really know what it would be, unless there's like, unless it's actually not as long as a sword and it's just like a cloud in front of the sword or something like that, or like the angle is all weird. I'm not really sure what this is going to be, but I'm pretty happy that they made it a lot harder to discern what the new Mystery Man for Adventure mode is. That is pretty cool. Alright guys, well that is going to conclude the this current episode of One Piece Treasure Cruise News. I am Sekapoko, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you do enjoy the video, please hit the like and subscribe button down below. And of course, have a great rest of your day. Peace.